Hello everybody, some would say I'm the reverse, and welcome to my review for Supergirl Season 5, Episode 12, titled Back from the Future, Part 2. Let's get right into my thoughts. I wasn't really impressed by this episode, to be honest. I thought it was kind of boring, and, I don't know, I just really didn't like the pacing of it that much, and, I was just bored through most of it, but I thought the episode itself, like what happened in it, I thought it was a pretty decent episode, but it just wasn't very enjoyable for me, um, especially coming off of a pretty decently strong episode of Batwoman. This episode was kind of underwhelming for me. But let's get into the plot details and why I really think this episode isn't very strong. Um, so this is part two of the Win two-parter with Toyman, who has been resurrected inside the digital world. He's like hacking all the computers at the DEO, and he can hack all their weapons and stuff. And it's revealed that Toyman, the Win Toyman from another Earth, used the Obsidian Tech lenses to um, do this, to upload himself into the World Wide Web, and because he has control of the DEO's weapons and computers and all that, Alex shuts them all down, and I believe she has Kara like fly them out of the DEO. And then Supergirl and Win, they go to the server, the DEO's server, and they um, try to basically wash Toyman out. Um, and then Win is forced to go into the computers, uh, and he's trying to get this. Basically, he's trying to upload this kill code to like erase Toyman from their servers. Is what he's doing. Um, and his dad is in there, and I'll talk a little bit more about Win and his relationship with his father in this episode, because I think that was one of the best parts about the episode. But I'll get to that. There's also a little bit of a side storyline with Andrea, Lena, Lex. Her name is Gemma. She's the Stranger Things mom working for Leviathan. Um, Gemma Cooper is her name, and there's a little bit of a Luther Corp slash Leviathan storyline going on, where and Obsidian Tech, where Obsidian Tech, obviously Andrea runs it. Gemma also works there. Um, they are looking to launch Obsidian Platinum, which is like a full-on VR mode, basically. Um, but there's a little bit of glitches in it and stuff, and they want to get help from Luther Corp, from Lena and Lex to try to fix it. But Lena decides to not go through with it. Her and Andrea decide not to um, partner up, basically, because of their past relationships not really working. So they don't want to jeopardize that by working together. Um, and then Lex meets with Gemma and convinces her to convince Andrea to convince Lena to help them. A lot of convincing going on. So yeah. Um, and then Gemma meets with Margot, the old lady from Leviathan, um, to inform the Anointed One. I don't know who that is. Probably the main villain of the season, I'm not sure. But inform them that Luther Corp is basically in their control. Um, there is also a little bit of a side storyline with William and Kara. It looks like they were going to be going out. That's what it looked like from the trailer for this episode, and I was really not looking forward to that. But it turns out that is not the case. He did ask her out on a date, but then they were interrupted, and then Excuse me, I'm very tired recording this. I don't have a lot of time to record this, but yeah, when he was asking her out, they were interrupted, and when Kara and Win were together on a mission, they were kind of like talking about her relationship with William and how she doesn't want to go through with it because she doesn't want to lie to him about being Supergirl. Um, so that's and then at the end of the episode, she lies to him and says she doesn't have any feelings for him, and yeah, that's why, because she doesn't want to tell him, or she doesn't want to keep the fact that she's Supergirl from him, because of what happened with Lena. But let's go back to Wynn's storyline in this episode. We have him going into the digital world where his father is actually um Toyman, the Toyman of Earth 1 pre-crisis. Uh, he's still in there, and him and Wynn have sort of a little storyline in this episode where Wynn just despises him because of what he did last time he was on the show. He just despises his father, and he does not trust him. Um, from the digital world, his father was trying to help him and Kara escape from these flying monkey things, which is Doppelganger, Wynn, Toyman, his weapons. And he was trying to help them, but Wynn didn't trust him. And then when they got in the digital world, he saved Wynn, and they had a little bit of a moment there, which was cool. Um, yeah. There's also a little bit of DEO Lex drama in this episode, with Alex spying on Lex and Lex knowing about it, and then Brainy logs into her account and shuts her spyware down, because obviously he's still working for Lex, and Lex probably asked him to shut it down. Um, and he just told Alex that he doesn't that he shut it down because he doesn't want Lex to find out about it and start to like target her and stuff. But at the end of the episode, she actually quits the DEO, which was insane. That came out of nowhere. She's been with the DEO since the very beginning of the series. So yeah, she's quitting the DEO to go work with Jean at the tower. Um, and then Lex appointed Brainy as the DEO director. After Brainy got a copy of um, the kill code that Win has, or not the kill code, excuse me, the immortality code, basically to like upload his consciousness onto onto like the digital dimension. I don't know what to call it, but yeah, basically Lex wanted that because he wants to use it to defeat Leviathan, because that's his main goal this season. Um, but I liked this episode overall. There was this fight scene that I just really didn't like. I thought it was really boring, and kind of out of nowhere with these Lexo suits that Toyman took control of. I just didn't. It doesn't really make a lot of sense why they'd keep a bunch of like multiple Lexo suits around. Probably Lex, to be honest, and obviously Toyman takes control of them. They start flying around and attacking the DEO, and I don't know. I just thought it was a really stupid scene where they were shooting at the DEO employees and they were like dodging out of the way, and Supergirl was like using her cape and like deflecting the bullets with her hand. I don't know. I just thought the choreography looked really poor um, in that fight scene. I don't know. Most people probably didn't even notice, but I didn't really like it that much. Um, but I don't know. I don't know why I didn't really like this episode. It seemed a little bit boring to me. Um, Something I'm noticing from this season, there are too many characters on this show. Um, Notice Kelly had like one scene in this episode, and I forgot that she was even in it until like 10 seconds ago. I realized that she was in it. She had like 10 seconds of screen time that was completely useless. Nia wasn't even in this. Um, there's there's so many characters on this show. Um, and then there was James that they had to get rid of. So they have a lot of characters on this show. Like the Flash this season has a lot of characters. We have Barry, Iris, Joe, Ralph, Cisco, Caitlin, Nash, Allegra, Cecile, Camilla. Um, but they balance their storylines pretty well because they write the characters out. Like Cisco's going on a little bit of a journey for a few episodes, but here they haven't written Nia out. She just disappears for like 3 episodes at a time and then she resurfaces. Um but that's the problem with the characters this season. I feel like there's just too many of them. There's Kara, Alex, Jean, William, Andrea, Lena, Lex, Nia. Um, I'm obviously missing a few. Brainy. Um, who else? Like Jean. I don't know if I said them already, but there are a lot of characters this season, and I don't know. I just don't think this season does a very good job at balancing all the characters and their screen time. Um, but I don't know. That's not really a problem with this episode, but I've noticed it throughout the season as a whole so far. Like they should really cut back on some characters, like Kelly. I forgot about Kelly. Um, like she doesn't really have much to do except be Alex's girlfriend, which they haven't really explored since like episode 4, really. Um, and then Andrea and William, like they are new characters to this season, and I feel like their storyline should have ended already. Because Andrea, we only see her like for a few scenes each episode, and I hope it's leading to somewhere because I don't know. I just feel like there's these storyline threads that aren't going anywhere, and I don't know. I'm just really not a fan of Andrea's storyline right now. Her VR storyline is just really boring to me. Um, this season so far as a whole, I'd say is probably one of the best seasons of Supergirl. That's not saying much. I didn't really enjoy the first few seasons, but I'd say it's pretty good so far. Um, but I really want them to capitalize on this Leviathan Lex storyline, since that is really what I'm intrigued by. I really want them to introduce a main villain, because there is like no conflict right now. Um, Obviously, there's like 9 or 10 episodes or so left. Since there are 22 episodes, there were in episode 12, so there's like 10 episodes left. So we have time to introduce a main villain, but I just feel like there's not a lot of good conflict right now. Maybe it's just because 2 out of 3 of the post-crisis episodes have been a two-part Toyman episode. I don't know. But next week we have the 100th episode. Mixie, that's just what I'm gonna call him. Showed up at the last in the last scene of this episode. Mixie Spilik, I don't know how to say it. Um, but he is back. He has a new look. He is immortal, so makes sense. We also get Samantha Aries back, or I don't remember how to say her last name, but Rain. If you don't know who that is, it's Rain. We also are getting Monel next week. Um, I'm crossing my fingers for Kat. She's one of my favorite characters from the entire show ever. I'm really hoping for her to come back. Maybe James can come back. It hasn't been that long since he left. Like it's been like 8 episodes. So it'd be kind of pointless to bring him back this early for a return. But it's the 100th episode. It'd be kind of cool to see him just with everybody, with Monel and Win. I'm pretty sure is coming back next week, even though he left this week. This episode, so I don't know, but I'm excited. 100th episodes are always cool. We've only had 2 so far in the Arrowverse. We did Arrow, which was one of the invasion episodes, which was really good crossover episode, and then we had Flashes last year, which was awesome episode, probably one of the best of the entire series. Um, that was an incredible episode. I really liked that episode from last season, but we'll have to wait and see. Supergirl's episode looks pretty good. It looks like Mixie is going to be taking Supergirl on quite an adventure, bringing her back to some hypotheticals, living another life, seeing what happens if she told Lena about um, about her being Supergirl. I don't know. It looks good though. Um, yeah, tell me what you think, what you thought about this episode, what you think about this season. Um, I'm sort of half and half on this season so far. I'm liking certain points of it. It's also kind of a boring, uninteresting storyline at points. This episode, middle of the road. I'm not super impressed by it, but it's not a terrible episode by any means. I'd probably give it like maybe 8.1, maybe, I don't know. But tell me in the comments what you think. Uh, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned. I think if you watch my Batwoman review all the way through near the end, I mentioned all my upcoming videos. I got Clone Wars Season 4 episodes ranked coming out soon. I gotta do that. I gotta do my DCEU films ranked, since I just saw Birds of Prey. Flash Legends reviews coming tomorrow or Wednesday. Um, Most likely Wednesday, just like every other week. And then Arrow and Flash 12th episodes ranked, I believe. Um, so yeah, got a packed schedule. But nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed my review. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. See ya.